Hello there. I would like to talk to you today about a common water pollutant, which is a herbicide. And a herbicide is like a chemical that will kill weeds that has been shown to affect people's health. So keep in mind, I grew up on a farm, and to control weeds in cornfields, farmers will depend upon using herbicides. And many of them have been found to cause health issues. One that's currently going through the courts is Roundup, that has been linked to non-Hodgkin's lymphomas. But the herbicide that I want to talk to you about today is called atrazine. And atrazine has been used since the 1960s. But one of the things that it will do is that it doesn't always flush out well, and it can build up in our water systems. Recent research has implicated that atrazine can cause metabolic health issues. And just kind of think metabolic means, how does your body process the foods that you eat? Sometimes we call that metabolism. And so metabolic health issues, such as diabetes and also obesity. And so why you need to be concerned about it is that we do see that atrazine is found in Minnesota waters. In my lab, what we have identified is that how atrazine can affect metabolic issues is that it can affect the circadian rhythm that your cells have. And you might not be familiar with what circadian rhythms is, but it's really that activity of getting up in the morning and then going to bed at night and everything that goes in between. Whether you're awake, whether you're asleep, how high your blood pressure is, when you're going to be most active, when you're going to be most alert. And it cycles every day. All right, most of us pretty much get up at the same time and go to bed at the same time, and that is regulated by our circadian rhythm. Well, it turns out that atrazine has been identified to interfere with our circadian rhythm by interfering with the process that regulates our circadian rhythm. And our process that we have is that there are multiple proteins, which are molecules in your cell that do the work, and they are interfered with by atrazine. So let's talk a little bit about these proteins and then how atrazine can interfere with them. So there are two proteins that are really, really important, BMAL and clock, and they are like best buds. They like to work together, and when they work together, they're the best. They're like go, and they'll activate and they'll turn on more proteins that go and do functions in the cell, such as regulating your blood pressure on that. But you know what? We got to shut them down, right? We can't constantly be active. So one of the sets of proteins that they make are referred to as PER and CRY. And those two are also best buds. And when they get together, they go and shut down BMAL and clock, which is great because, you know, we got to do that on a daily basis. Can't have them on all the time, or we're going to be awake all the time. Can't have them off all the time, or we would be asleep all the time. And so we have these two that start the process, and then the two that finishes it, and it just keeps going all day long, every day as a cycle. But what can affect our circadian rhythm is light, all right, with the brain saying, hey, this light, let's turn on the BMAL. But also food, because when we eat can also affect the circadian rhythm. And how food works is that there's a third protein. So we have BMAL and clock that are best buds, and we get a third protein coming in, and it interferes with that friendship. And it turns out SIRT was the name of that protein. It is regulated by how our food is broken down, all right? And so if you eat, you're going to get more SIRT being active. That's going to then interfere with BMAL and clock. Well, it turns out atrazine regulates circadian rhythm by interacting with the SIRT protein that can interfere with our circadian rhythm. My lab is just really starting to to get some research on it, and so we are excited about it, and would be willing to talk more to you about this at some future time.